Just few days after President of the country, President John Dramani Mahama, accepted some deportees, some Nigerians deported from USA to Ghana. Information has it that these Nigerians and others deported by USA to Ghana sue over detention. So a group of West African deported from the United States has filed a lawsuit against the Ghanaian president, claiming that they were transferred to country despite holding protection orders from USA immigration authorities. The suit lodged in a Ghanaian court was brought on behalf of 11 people from Nigeria, Togo, Gambia, Liberia, and Mali. The plaintiffs say that they have been detained since arrival without charge and with little or no access to lawyers. The case comes after President John Dramani Mahama confirmed last week that the government had agreed with Washington to accept deportees from West Africa as President Donald Trump ramped on expulsion. So now, the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Ablankwa has already confirmed that 40 more deportees are expected in the coming days, stressing that Ghana's decision was based on humanitarian concerns and did not amount to an endorsement of U.S. immigration policies. Let me quickly take you guys through the videos that is trending right now, and we're going to have a discussion at the end of the video. Watch these videos.
11 West African nationals have taken legal action against the government of Ghana. What's their crime or our crime? Challenging their transfer from the United States under the controversial arrangement. Now, the applicants, who are Nigerians, Togolese, Gambians, and Malian nationals, say they were secretly removed from the United States detention centers earlier this month, despite having previously secured protection against deportation from American immigration courts. Now, they claim they only discovered later that Ghana was their unexpected destination. They didn't know about this. That's why they say it was a secret deportation. They didn't know that they were being brought to Ghana. But then again, what does the law say? Because since their arrival on September 6th, they say they have been kept in military facilities, denied proper access to family members, and held for more than 48 hours without any court order. The suits filed before Ghanaian courts include a habeas corpus action questioning the lawfulness of their detention, a human rights case alleging violations of their liberty and administrative justice, and an injunction seeking to stop any attempt to send them back to their countries of origin. Now, let's get a bit more into this, because this is one that our legal affairs correspondent Joseph Akable has been following quite closely, as how this transpired right from the United States to what's happening here in Ghana. He's joining us right now. Joseph, it's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. What more do we know about this particular case and the challenge that these deportees are bringing up against the government of Ghana?
Well, the first update we can bring to our viewers is the fact that two of the cases that you made reference to are due to be heard in court tomorrow. The first being the habeas corpus application, which is simply challenging the basis for their imprisonment, asking that whoever is holding them shows up in court and explains why they are being detained, for the court to determine whether that detention should be allowed to remain or the court should issue orders for their release. Then the second application is the one for the injunction that you also made reference to, which would also is supposed to be heard tomorrow, asking that the Republic of Ghana is restrained from having them removed from Ghana. We have seen and verified videos from persons who are close to these individuals, video showing one person speaking on their behalf, in which they say that as at the 15th of September, that is just 2 days ago, they were still in the jurisdiction. You recall last week, the president had said that the first batch had been sent out of the country. What is not clear is whether this is another batch beyond the batch the president had referred to, because they say that media reports suggesting they arrived in Ghana and they had been sent out of Ghana are false and that they are still within their jurisdiction. The main point to make is that they have been granted some respite by the courts in the United States of America that prevented their removal from that country, and they were not therefore supposed to be moved from the United States in the first place, only to be told mid-flight that they were heading to Ghana. And they say that on arrival in Ghana, without any court order or anything, they are being kept beyond the mandatory requirements of 48 hours, or beyond that, you get a court order to extend that warrant. And so that is what they are saying, that as far as they are concerned, they believe their rights have been breached, for which reason they are seeking the intervention of our courts.
And they say they are being kept at military facilities? Yes. From what you do know?
Yes, that's the claim they make. They say that they are being held in various military facilities, and that there are intermittent access that is granted to family members and sometimes to the lawyers. So it's not access that they are satisfied with. and they believe that all those matters amount to a breach of their rights. And as far as they are concerned, they believe that the court ought to intervene and order their release.
And Joseph, hold on a bit for me. Let's hear from the president. Exactly a week ago, when he first spoke about this entire arrangement and these deportees coming into Ghana. Take a look. And we'll hear from him. And then Samuel Okudzeto as well did give a bit more detail a couple of days ago during that accountability series. This is the president a week ago. Take a look.
It shows the tightening situation in our foreign relations, but I do think that we still enjoy good relations with the United States of America. We were approached by the U.S. to accept third-party nationals who were being removed from the U.S. And we agreed with them that West African nationals, were acceptable because all our fellow West Africans don't need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from U.S. to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. Several of them were our Nigerian brothers. They opted to go back home, and so we put them on buses, to be able to go back home. One of them was a Gambian who it's not as easy. You have to get him an air ticket to be able to facilitate his travel. So what we've done is contacted their embassy to let them know of his presence so that they can facilitate his return to Gambia. And so that's the issue with regards to deportations and arrivals. West Africa has the protocol of free movement. And so any West African is free to come to Ghana and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, we don't have a problem accepting them.
So that's the president there. So, Joseph, he reiterates the point you made earlier that these West African nationals are due for their countries of origin under this arrangement with the United States. And that's what these deportees are resisting. They don't want to go to their countries?
Yes, in fact, they say that they should not have been removed from USA in the first place because they say that they had been granted a certain status. And in fact, there's an international report by the Reuters which makes reference to a matter that has been put before a federal court which raises questions about whether those individuals should be removed from the country. And so in this particular process that they filed in court, they attached some of those documents to show that they were pending matters and there's also a certain status that had been granted them, for which reason they should not have been moved. Again, we are learning from our government sources that about 40 other nationals are expected in the country in the coming week as well, 40 nationals. And questions are already being raised about the nature of the agreement that has been reached, particularly in line with the Supreme Court decision in the Gitmo 2, the case of Margaret Banfu and Henry Nana Boakye versus the Attorney General, in which the court said that whatever form that agreement takes, Article 75 does not make any such distinction, and so such agreements ought to be taken to Parliament for ratification. But the government sources and the Minister for Foreign Affairs have stated quite publicly that, as far as they are concerned, the agreement hasn't gotten to the stage that ought to go to Parliament for such an approval. And
so, from what you do know, when is this case going to be heard?
It's to be heard tomorrow morning at the High Court here in Accra.
Tomorrow morning. And we'll see how things play out. And I know that this is one that you're keeping clear focus on, and we'll be updating our viewers on it. Our senior legal affairs correspondent there, Joseph Akabale, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. And the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto, also gave some detail on the status of these deportees and what is going to happen, because they have to go to their countries. They say they don't want to go. But this is Samuel Okudzeto 2 days ago. Take a look.
Ghana's action was guided solely by our moral responsibility, our legal obligations under the 1992 Constitution and ECOWAS protocols, our distinguished Pan-African track record, and historic and legendary leadership in championing the rights of all Africans. Let me emphasize that under this understanding with the United States, Ghana must first independently vet the background of those the U.S. intends to deport, to first satisfy ourselves that they do not pose any threat to the security of our country and that they cannot harm our citizens. We have put in place strict safeguards to ensure that convicted, hardened criminals cannot be brought into our country under this understanding.
Ghana president, he don't paro for US. He saw those migrants when they carry come in country. He said they still dey Ghana. They never still come up for Ghana. I don't know why they fair accept make USA deport people come their country. And then those people now, those migrants now, when USA deport to Ghana, some of them are Nigeria, while the other one are Gambia. Now 40 of them, they still dey Ghana. The Ghana president now they come and say all those migrants they still there in country. Why they accept? Tell me the reason why they accept. You know, so all those people when they deport come your country, they don't come from Ghana. Why the government accept they make USA deport them from Ghana? By the way, waiting USA they just until they meet. They will leave the country when all those migrants for come out. Instead of make USA deport them back to their country, they will carry them go another country. Why did they just that one? Most of our African leaders now, when they accept all those migrants from USA, they use money buy their voice, they use money buy their power. Instead of make they reject money, make they respect themselves, they will collect money. After they don't collect money finish, now they will come out for social media, they disgrace themselves. Say all those migrants when USA deport to Ghana, they still remain in Ghana. They never still come out. Where they want to go? By the way, why they fair accept?
The 14 detainees, West Africans, that were sent to Ghana from the U.S. in straitjackets and fed bread and water and nothing else. First and foremost, they finally made it to their home countries, and rightfully so, they have filed a lawsuit. Who's the lawsuit against? The lawsuit is filed against the U.S. because the migrants themselves said, hey, look, these people sent us back in straitjackets, 16 hours straight on a flight back to Ghana. And then they were talking about the squalid conditions they were left in once they arrived in Ghana. Ghana wants to accept no responsibility for it because they said, look, this is just purely on principle and humanitarian efforts that they accepted these deportees. But they've made it clear that this was an endorsement of President Donald Trump and his migration policies. I am not making light of this situation at all because let me tell you, I would not want to be sent on a 16-hour, on a 0-hour flight in a straitjacket, okay, and being fed water and bread. Never. I mean, that was just cruel and unusual punishment. But let me say this. There's a reason why they did this to them. Can you imagine if this is how these people treat foreigners? Can you imagine how they treat my people in the U.S.? You know, a lot of Africans get on here and they laugh at us and make jokes about how the police are treating us. But again, let me remind you, they're on your continent right now and you are next. I promise you. And by the way they treated these 14 West Africans, they're basically letting you know what they think of you as well, is how they think of us. They come into our homes wherever we are and unalive us, okay, and throw us in jail under false charges. We're doing our job, the truck drivers recently, and they pull them out of the truck. And these are just regular people that are pale skinned, that don't like us. Pull them out of their trucks. Next thing you know, you find them hanging. You find our people, women, even women, hanging from trees. And of course, they always say that it's suicide. So I'm just saying, be careful when you laugh at other people and the things that they go through, because you just might find that same treatment, ill treatment, should I say, on your front doorstep. Be careful. So why does the U.S. government feel so comfortable treating West Africans this way? It's because they know who you are. They know who you are more than you know who you are. You are the same people as us. The reason why they treat us this way. You're Hebrews. Your story is written in the Old Testament scriptures. This is why they treat you this way, because you are their prisoner of war. They don't treat any other race or nationality of people this way. They only treat Hebrews like this because you have to keep in mind, it was the Africans, the ones with the E1B1B DNA, not all so-called black people are Africans. They actually assisted those people, sending us to our demise. I have plenty of videos about that. But this is why they did you this way, because they know that you are one of the chosen people. But I am glad that they are back home. They're back home safe. And I hope they do win a nice lump sum, because that was totally uncalled for what they went through.
Breaking news. Nigeria government rejected Nigerians that Donald Trump deported back to Nigeria. Wow. Now, U.S. government had to send them to Ghana. This Nigeria government rejected them. It's on the news. The U.S. government deported the first set of Nigerians to Ghana. Now is when they get to Ghana, they will not enter night bus to Nigeria. So, Ghana agreed to accept West Africa deportees from US, but this is under a bilateral deal, including Nigerians, as part of a crackdown for illegal immigration. So, the first group that arrived are 14 people, so Ghana will now facilitate their return back to their home country. Like, what's going on? And out of these 14 persons, 13 people inside are from Nigeria. But why will our government reject them? Is it by force to keep your citizen in their country? Donald Trump did not come to play. So you can go and check if your family member are among. All right. Anyways.
Why is the US deporting Nigerians to Ghana? The US has just deported a group of West African migrants, including Nigerians and a Gambian, to Ghana. Ghana's president confirmed that 14 people have arrived so far. He said the US asked Ghana to take in West African nationals being deported, and Ghana agreed under ECOWAS, a regional agreement that allows free movement between member countries. Ghana is now helping those migrants to return to their home countries. But this is happening while tensions between Ghana and Nigeria are rising. Just weeks ago, some Ghanaians protested and called for Nigerians to be kicked out after crimes in the country were blamed on foreign nationals, mainly Nigerians. Do you think Ghana made the right call here, or is this going to cause even more tension in the region?
First of all, I understand the fact that these people are going through emotional breakdown. I mean, this set of people deported. Let me talk about Nigerians in their midst, right? I don't want to talk about other countries. So now, I understand the fact that they are going through some emotional breakdown, and information has it that the president of Nigeria, President Tinubu, rejected them. They said that they were rejected by the president of Nigeria. So for President John Mahama to accept you is a plus. Like, it is a plus for him to accept you, and he also made it clear that you don't need visas to move within West Africa. Like, he called you guys brothers. It is okay for you guys to be grateful because your own president rejected you. That's number one. Number two is, we all know that these guys, like I said, they're going through emotional breakdown. Coming to Ghana was never what they planned. They didn't want to come to Ghana. They went to US and they were deported. Nobody faces deportation and the person is okay, because it's just like you want to come back because you want to come back. You came back because you saved some money, you want to see your family, then you were forced to come back. It's already depressing and it's already frustrating. I get it. But what I have to ask is that, listening to the condition of these places, they said they don't have access to internet, they are not well fed, they are passing through some certain things. I just want to know in the comment section, what could be the problem? Why are they still be retained in Ghana? Because if you listen to when President of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, was making a speech, he said clearly that these guys will be moved down to Nigeria with a night bus. That once they come to Ghana, that he's going to send them back to Nigeria. Maybe send the other one to Gambia also, but he's going to send them back with the night bus to Nigeria. So what is causing the delay? Why are there still restrictions, and is the movement not like, why are they not back? In as much as they don't want to be in US, they would prefer to be in Nigeria where they have their family, because these guys have families and friends. Maybe they already have some investments going on and all that. So I can understand their cry and their frustration, but I also want you to tell me in the comment section, what do you genuinely think about why they are still locked up in Ghana? And they're not criminals, in as much as we don't really know. Maybe the papers are not complete and all that, but why are they still? Just explain to me in a nutshell so that I will understand. Is this how they do it? If you deport somebody from a country to what's it called, to Nigeria or some other country, do you think it is okay to keep them there? Okay, even I saw the video, another particular statement made by foreign affairs ministers, that they are even literally frustrated because more 36 people will be sent down to Ghana, and they don't really have the resources and all that. They don't know if they will start rejecting these people. So I don't just know what is going on with these people. Another thing I would like to ask is that, why are they even sent to Ghana? I understand the fact that our Nigerian president rejected them, allegedly. Let me use the word allegedly because I'm not very sure. But what is really going on with all these people? If you are from Nigeria, they should just send you to Nigeria. Even if you are being rejected, they should bring you down to the airport. Isn't it? Is there anything there? Because I don't know. Just the other day, we have about 1,576 Nigerians deported from Canada. They were seeking asylum in Canada. See, I even heard UK is planning for massive deportation of Nigerians. These ones are the ones seeking for asylum. While are they? These are the videos trending now, and I'm literally confused because, in as much as I understand the fact that these guys are going through emotional breakdown and all that, but let us limit the way we move to other countries. Let us limit the way we travel. to abroad and all that, because it is no longer funny. Let us try to make our country better. Every day we are having deportation. And I think right now Tinubu is already exhausted because of the level of influx of people as in getting back to their countries, to Nigeria. And Nigerians are the highest numbers. So the only way forward now is that how do we make our country better? Let us find a way to work on the insecurity, the job, create more jobs, try to make people feel at home, because in as much as this sounds crazy, there will still be massive deportation of people every day. Like 1,000 plus, 1,500 and something plus Nigerians from Canada and UK is planning on massive deportation. And these guys are... I'm going to end here, guys. These are the videos that is trending and I could not wait to react. Let me know what you think about this set of Nigerians suing the Ghanaian government for restricting them from returning to their country. And also just let me know what you genuinely think in the comment section. If this is your first time coming across my face, my name is Ujuya. Welcome to Uncut. If you don't make your like by subscribing. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.